Mariton means to me vacation and love.
Love, family.
Family
Family,
Loyalty.
Unity.
love.
and love. Zane?
In the 1950s, I was a boy in Morant Bay, and Mr. Val Blake was trying to establish a source of income for the family. And his passion was to create music, something that never existed. So he ordered via, mail, when those days we didn't have apps and texts and Amazon. So he ordered the Philips amplifier was the item. It was a battery operated. And when it came, he needed some more input from the boys. And he broached the subject to Winston and said, I need you to come. And Winston gave up the metal box job and came to Morant Bay, and that was the beginning of the Merritone. Trevor was the tech guy. He would do the transistors and the condensers and the solder iron and fine-tune the amplifier perfection. And Winston was the music man. So from there, the Merritone legend grew, gradually, little by little by little. There was another part of this, another member of the Morant Bay group, Arthur Teddy Fidd, that saw the vision and invited the Merritone to Kingston from Morant Bay. And the first dance was at the Wembley Club in Vineyard Town, Rallington Town area. And that dance at Wembley Club exposed Merritone to the entire Kingston population. He was very, very impressed. And that was the beginning of the explosion in Jamaica. Years later, 3 guys in New York, Cello Lynn, Clive Davidson, and myself decided that Merritone should go overseas. And they were invited to New York.
When Merritone came to New York, between Brooklyn and Queens, Winston, who was the one who came to play, stayed at my very, very good friend's house, Fernando Bogle. So that's when I got to meet Winston, the person, as opposed to Winston, the DJ, up on the stage. And what happened then was I was able to forge a friendship with him, not just be somebody who admired his music and enjoyed what he brought when he came to a party or to a dance or what have you, but really got to know the person, got to know his family, and it really created this bond that lasted our entire lives together. It was almost by accident that I attended the first Merritone reunion. Not the first one they had, because they actually started in Morant Bay, but the first one that they had in Montego Bay at Tropical Beach. We were staying in Montego Bay. I heard about it, so of course I came on a Friday night, and it was just such a wonderful experience. You started partying from 8, 9 o'clock and you went until 6 in the morning, and you did that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturdays we had a cricket match where the entire families, no matter how old or how young, came and enjoyed it. And what happened was that the Merritone, the Blake family, became extended and sort of accepted all these other people into it. It was truly a family reunion.
Let me start by explaining to you how my family got involved with the Merritone itself. My oldest uncle, Dennis Thompson, which is Michael Thompson's older brother, was the first man that was not named Blake to play on a Merritone sound system.
My involvement with Merritone music began with my brother from early days when he used to play by Lotus Ogogo. His collection of music I was always looking at and admired, and his friends would come by the house and be playing those sounds, his records, and being an inquisitive little boy, I was troubling his things. Eventually, when he would do 8-track recordings, eventually a friend told him not to spank me, but to teach me how to handle it, and he taught me. So that was my effort into recording 8-tracks and eventually cassettes. That now was when I was first introduced to the sound of Merritone here in Winston Blake for the first time, because I could not go to these parties or clubs. Come now in the early 80s, when I was about to take on Merritone to play at turntable. It was Monty who taught me, showed me the ropes and the format which we're using at the club at that time. And for me, that has always been a winning format.
Initially, when they were doing that, Michael Thompson and Dennis Thompson doing that, I was in the States, right? But from growing up, I was always involved with the music. I left to the States when I was 13, came back when I was like 21, 22, and at that time, for some reason, I jumped right back into the sound system with the Merritone family with Winston Blake. And he brought me onto the club on Reddish Road called Turntable Club. And from that point on, he just groomed me to say, all right, he was saying to me he wants me to be the next generation of Merritone and to, you know, be the face of Merritone going forward. And from that point, it was almost every day I was by his house, studying music and and he was showing me, you know, how his style of playing was. Plus being at Turntable Club every Thursday night, and plus, you know, whatever other nights, I was there as a turntable was like my classroom, so to speak. So from that point, from 94 going up, I was at Merriton full time. Yeah.
Managing the turntable was something else because you had all these people from all over the island coming there. From the person that sold down at Coronation Market to the people in Parliament. Everybody came together. You would never know the difference. There was no culture difference. Once they came in through those doors, something completely different. Everybody was just there to have a good time. The camaraderie was something else. It was a family. And that's what Merritone is all about. It was a whole family experience. We had a couple of DJs that worked. Mikey Thompson, the late Gladys Parker, played there on a Thursday night. And the young lion, Craig Ross, I can remember when he came to work at the turntable. He was probably maybe about 18 years old. And look at him now, eh?
Well, I met Uncle Winston, the late Uncle Winston Blake, as a man who always been around the music, live music. I'm a musician, you know, before I even started doing my own recordings as a vocalist. So he was always encouraging, you know, over the years. Just with due respect, you see me say hi, always something good about the music. So I met him because of that kind of vibration. They connected to him constantly, you know, and wherever Merritone was doing something, we would always support, turn up just to be a part of it. So started following the movements, discovering the movements as well, because, you know, we weren't born then, right? So we started to learn of the history, the family history, and that's how I ended up, you know, going around. That's my first initiative with the Merritone movement. So Mr. Blake was coming out all the time to support us. So that's how I met him, you know. And finally, when the reunion started, I'm always present to support as well, you know, to give my strength. It's a very mature crowd, receptive of the music coming from their history. So for me as a young artist at that time, vocalist, to play and to perform amongst that type of audience is merit. And it goes far, you know, each one teach one, each one tell another one. So, you know, it's been consistent, you know, it becomes duty now that when the reunion comes around, Benjamin Myers is present. Yes.
We usually go to Merritone and play. Them time I'm a little boy, you know, go up there and play on a Sunday. So Merritone usually have like about 2 or 3 bands. So it was Bare Essentials and 2 more bands. Yeah? And when we went up there, it was such a good atmosphere because you have Cynthia Slash, and Cynthia Slash round and up and down in the kitchen, the big singer, up and down, serving. And then you have Winston Blake, who is the captain of the Merritone ship. And that was my first experience, going there, seeing them, and them always play some classic, the best of the reggae music at that time, you know. So I went there, and the moment I went there and see what was going on, I fell in love. Good food, good people, good music. Yeah. When you go to a Merritone session, one of the good things that you can expect is, as I said before, good music, they are playing some music that you'll only hear if you go and buy the record. And their kind of music that Winston used to play. When Winston don't play, everybody just leave like them in a frenzy.
In Mariton, when we play music, we make sure it's family orientated, right? Not that you have to bring your kids everywhere we go and play, but we have a standard of playing that you're not going to hear a certain type of lewd lyrics or disrespectful stuff to women or any gunman lyrics and stuff like that.
Listen, this is a family event, and if you enjoy your family and love your family and want to spend time with your family, this is a place where you can do that, and everybody just have a good time. I mean, look around you. Which family wouldn't enjoy this setting? And of course, the music is always there, and that's also a large part of it.
We just have to say all the respect from a grassroots level right up. Like Uncle Monty said, the last one standing. Thanks for the legacy, thanks for keeping us musicated.
There is nothing like a Merritone family. You will never have another family other than your blood relatives. Merritone family is the best. And like they said, Merritone moments are always forever.
Yeah? Anywhere you hear a Merritone, Monty or Merritone going to play, you should go. It is an experience that you will never forget. Big up Merritone and their celebration today. Yeah.
Monty is very enthusiastic, and we believe that with our support, Merritone will live forever and Monty will carry it because he's pretty young. He can do it. I am 81 years old. I'm probably the oldest Merritone living fan. But we see the future being great with Monty and his daughter, Monique, beside him. I think Merritone will live forever.